Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our service. Those of us on a virtual platform, we're glad to have you with us. And another Friday night in a row, we have a minion in our midst here in the sanctuary. This weekend, celebrating Ethan Feldman's bar mitzvah. Very, very exciting. This is a very special moment for me as well. I know it's very special for the family. But Allison reminded me how special this was with a text she sent me, a photo she sent me of a text of, I was here a week. And Rabbi Sandler was taking me around to different life cycles to show me how to do any of these life cycles. And that life cycle that he brought me to was Ethan Feldman's bris. So I'd been here 1 week. My hair was very different. I looked like a baby. Allison looked like a baby. Ethan looked like a baby. It was just a real special experience. But even at that moment, he was ready for this moment. So we're thrilled to have him and his parents, Joel and Allison Feldman, and their parents and the rest of the family able to celebrate with us on this very, very special moment, and all of you who are online with us. We are going to begin our service with an abbreviated afternoon service. Obviously, if you look outside, it's too late to do the afternoon service, but as a tradition in our congregation, we do the Ashrei, Psalm 145 on page 1, and then move right to the Mourner's Kaddish, allowing those of us saying Kaddish to have that space where we can be together and support one another. It's our honor to have our bar mitzvah, Ethan Feldman, leading us in the Ashrei. You'll find it in our blue Sidurim on page 1.
Ashrei yoshvei vitecha, odi hallelu kasela.
Ashrei am shekacha lo, Ashrei am shadonai Elohav.
Tehillah la David, aromimka Elohai hamelech, va'avarcha simka leolam va'ed.
Bechol yom avarchecha, v'halla shimcha leolam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umhulal meod, eluv dolato in chiker.
Dor ledor yishavach ma'asecha, u'gurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kavod hodecha, v'devrei niflotecha asichach.
Ve'ezuz nerotecha yomeru, gdulatcha saprena.
Zikir rav tuvka yebeu, batzidikatka yereinu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech hapayim agdol chased.
Tov Adonai lakov, v'charamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yevarchucha.
Kavod malhu kaya meru, ugvaret kaya deberu.
Lehodia livnei Adam gevurotav, uvod Adam malchuto.
Malhu ka malhu kol amim, uvmimshalka bekol dor vador.
Somech Adonai lechol anofim, v'zokef lechol akfufim.
Inai kol elochecha, yesaberu ve'ata noten lahem, ed oklam bita.
Poteach et yadecha, u'masbia lecha chai ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai bekol drakav, v'chasid bekol maasav.
Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yikru ve'emet.
Ritzon yeriav, yashev et shavatam yishmei v'yoshim.
Shomer Adonai et kol oavav, ve'et kol reshayim yashmid.
Tehillat Adonai yedaberu pi, v'yavaret kol bashar shem kodsho leolam va'ad.
V'anachnu nevarech yam, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hallelujah.
We invite those who are reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, either online to enable microphones or in our room here to stand at this time. Join with us the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 12. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shomer Rabba.
Amen.
Elma divra kirutei v'yamdeh malchutei. V'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael. Agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'mei. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yimam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal Eda Kudusha B'richu La'ela Minkol Berchata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechamata Ran Be'alma V'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya Yechaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'Yimru
Amen.
Oseh Shalom V'Shlav Oseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'Yimru.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As we enter into our Kabbalat Shabbat, I want to invite us, as I do most weeks, to take a moment to settle into our places and to just take in a deep breath, especially for the Bar Mitzvah family. At the end of this week, running and running and running, to just take a few breaths to settle ourselves into Shabbat. The time has finally come. It's through our breaths and our presence that we change the substance of this time for these next 25 hours. From a time of doing, of constantly running, of creating, into a time of rest, into a time of being together as family, as community, as a time of celebration, and a time of holding each other in our sorrows. It's these breaths which change the substance of the time. So I invite us to take one more breath, breathing in and breathing out, as we welcome our Shabbat angels into our homes and into our sanctuary with Shalom Aleichem on page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn to page 15 as we raise our voices together, Lechu Neranana L'Adonai, as we sing these psalms and we deepen the presence of Shabbat in our midst. Lechu Neranana L'Adonai, Nariya L'Tzur Yisheinu, Nekadma Fanav Betodah, Mizmirot Nariya Lo, Yedida Yeda Yeda Yeda, Yedida 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 Yeda Yeda. Ki el gadol alai u'melech elohim Hashem yidbarach Hashem Arba'im shana kut bedor ma'omar am to'el levavheim והם לא ידעו דרכי. אשר נשבעתי ואפי, אם יבואו אל מנוחתי, ידידיי, 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 Page 16. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, Basru meyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kevodo, B'chol amim nifleotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Umulam me'od, Nora hu al kol Elohim, Ki kol Elohei amim elilim, V'Adonaim shamayim asa, Od ve'ada lefanav, Oz v'tifer b'mikdasho, Havu l'Adonai mishmechot amim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, Se'u mincha uvo lechatzrotav, Ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Chilu mipanav kol haaretz, Imru v'goyim Adonai malach, Avtikon tevel baltimo, Yadina mim b'mei shalim, Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam umlo, Te'yalo sadai v'chol asher bo, Az yiranenu kol hatzeyar, Lifnei Adonai kiva, Kiva lishbot haaretz, Yishbot teva b'tzedek, Ve'amim be'emunato, Yamai da 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 da, Yai da da, Anai da 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 da, Anai da 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 da, Yai da da, Anai da 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 da, Yai da da, Anai da da ya da 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 da, Anai da da ya da da, Yai da da, Anai da da ya da 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 da, Anai da da ya da 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 da. Adonai malach tagel haaretz, Yismechu im rabim, Anan v'rafot tzedek mishpat b'chon kiso ish lefanav. Orzaru al tzadik, Uleishrei leiv simcha, Orzaru al tzadik, Uleishrei leiv simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher kodesho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher kodesho. Page 18. Mizmor shir Adonai shir chadash, kniflaot asar shir limino zokosho. Pitzchu v'ranim zemeru. Zameru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, בחצוצרות וקול שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה, נהרות עמך וכף, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, מעמים מישרים, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה, נהרות עמך וכף, יחד הרים ירננו. אדוני מלך יגזו העמים, page 19, יושב קרויים תנות הארץ, אדוני בציון גדול רמו גויים, יודו שמך גדול ונורא קדוש, אדוני ישק, משה ברמו אדוני בשמו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו לקודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. We rise in body or in spirit for Psalm 29 on page 20 as Ethan leads us in Mizmor LeDavid.
Mizmor LeDavid.
Avu l'Adonai b'nelim, avu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, avu l'Adonai kivod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh.
Kol Adonai al hamayim, al hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim ravim.
Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon.
Vayarkidem kemo egel, Lebanon v'Sirion kemo bene ramim.
Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot.
Vayechesov yarod unhikalu kulo omer kavod.
Adonai lamabul yasha, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'am moiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom.
As we're seated, I'll invite you to stay on page 20 before we get to Lachadodi. You may be seated, please. And this particular psalm that Ethan just chanted so beautifully, and he'll have a chance to do it again tomorrow, is out of place. If you've been following along on the psalms that we've been reading, we're actually finding our way through a wonderful way that our rabbis put together the prayer book. Our rabbis were what I like to consider the inventors of cut and paste. The prayer book, many parts of it are just large sections of the Bible cut and pasted into a prayer book out of their original context, and then, of course, placed where they are, and we learn to sing them and we chant them, and they become meaningful for our prayer experience. On holidays, we have a service called Hallel. It has a lot of singing, a lot of repetition, a lot of back and forth with the congregation. And if you look closely, All Hallel is Psalm 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, and that's it. No edits, no nothing. The rabbis just cut and pasted it in. And they did something similar with this Kabbalat Shabbat service. This service is actually quite modern in Jewish history, only about 500 years old. And what did they do? They started with Psalm 95, Lechuna Ranana. And then they did Psalm 96. Then they did Psalm 97. You can look back and see it says it in our book. Then they did Psalm 98. And then they did Psalm 99. Anybody want to guess what next one they did? Right. Psalm 29. So why did they jump? Why did they jump out of order? Psalm 100 actually is beautiful. So why did they skip it, end this wonderful cycle of cut and paste, and put in its place of Psalm 100, Psalm 29? And if you look carefully, there's something I think important as we enter into Lechadodi, which we're just about to sing. This prayer that really is the soul of this Kabbalat Shabbat service. It is what we are here to do, to welcome in Shabbat. This prayer reminds us of the transition we are making. Because if you look carefully, Havu Ladonai B'nei Elim, the English Hebrew works both ways. Acclaim to Adonai, exalted creatures, acclaim Adonai, glorious and mighty. Go down to where it says the voices of Adonai thunder and thunders over rushing waters. The voice of Adonai roars with might. This is a loud psalm. And as Ethan did it, he did it beautifully. He sings it loudly, the way it's supposed to be sung. God's voice happens 7 times. If you look in the Hebrew, the word kol happens 7 times. God's name, Adonai, Yud-He, Vav-He, happens 18 times. 7 and 18, those are meaningful numbers. It isn't by accident that this psalm, Psalm 29, is put together in this particular way. It's loud, it's chaotic. We talk about splitting cedars and breaking through mountains. This is a loud experience. Often what our week is like, isn't it? That's how we make our way through the world. We slam from one meeting to another. We can't stop our cell phones and our inboxes from chiming, email after email. The phone rings, places to go, cars revving up, cars stopping, getting in, getting out, loading packages, whatever it is chaotic, it is loud. It sometimes feels like to get work done, to get our life done for 6 days, we do have to split mountains and cedars, and we have to move mountains to make things happen. But ultimately, this moment is about the last line. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. God's strength, God will give to us. And then the final line. Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. All the noise, all the chaos ends with peace. And so as we make our transition away from this order of Psalms, our warm-up, if you will, to this point, to Lechadodi, where we are going to welcome in Shabbat, we reflect on all those chaotic moments, all the noise, many of it good, God willing, good noise that happened this week, things we got done that led us to this moment, but we walk in with peace. And that's what we seek in this moment. That's what we seek for Shabbat. We take our deep breath, sing our songs, and we make our way to peace. Lechadodi, page 21.
Lechadodi likrat kalei ababai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lechadodi likrat kalei yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litzila. Lechadodi likrat kalei ababai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lechadodi likrat kalei yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki hi mekor abiracha merosh mikedem nesucha סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך ימלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך הפכה, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. הנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא אורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהל ידידי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר אל תילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסה שוסייך, ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהיך, כמשוש חתן, חתן על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת nekabela. We rise and face the entrance. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala gam b'simcha, uvetzola tolchemune. Am segula boi chala, olecha dodi likrat kala, penei shambat nekabla. Yalla dai dai, yanai didi da da dai, yanai didi dai, yanai didi da da dai, yanai didi dai dai, yamai didi da da dai, andidi dai, andidi dai, yamidi da ba ba, ay 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 da da, ya da da, ay da da, ay da da da. Andidi dai, 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 dai. May be seated. As we turn to page 23, Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat, continuing to raise up our voices with the sounds of Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat. How beautiful is this world, each and every moment, each and every creation. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez ba'levanon yizkeh shitulim beveit Adonai mechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu orinu avune beseva nishenim verananim iyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo Adonai malach yulavesh lavesh Adonai oz hitazar page 24 nachuzah me'az v'lamata nasun yisun l'rotok mikol Etu techanemnu me'od levidcha nav HaKodesh Adonai leorech yamim. We invite those who are in mourning to rise in body or in spirit, and those online to enable their microphones in support of mourners as we recite Kaddish Yatom in the middle of page 24. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'ama divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chaychon v'yamechon v'chayei zecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam amen. Amen. Yibarach v'yishtabach, yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu, Elah min kol birchata v'shirata, shbechata v'nechamata, v'amirana be'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Aseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Before we transition into our Mariv service, to the evening service, I want to invite us to take one more breath. Take one more breath, and as we're breathing in and out, notice if the quality of that breath has changed over the course of our Kabbalat Shabbat. Has it become any more peace-filled? Has it slowed or deepened? Are we beginning to feel that Shabbat not only in the room around us, but also inside of us? We rise together for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam eved. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher u'ma patech shalom. Pori v'layla v'luchoshev v'choshev v'leor. Umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam eved. Baruch atah Adonai, amari v'aravi. Avat olam beit Yisrael amcha. Ve'afta, page 29, Torah mitzvah gimush b'nimnan. V'ismach v'yivaytotach, Ve'avatecha tasmimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Recite the Shema together on page 30. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך, והיה משמעות דירות. ויאמר ישנים ודבר בני ישראל תצית Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 32. Emet ve'emunah kol zov hakayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ein zulato yinach Yisrael amo. Makim uglim mekaf v'ritzim. Hashem Hashem l'chaim l'muyenu. V'yotzei et am Yisrael mitoch v'chavet olam. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורתי לא דוסף אל מלכותך ראו בניך וקיים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We read together the words of the Hashkivenu in English at the top of page 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, and watches over us and delivers us. Our gracious and merciful ruler, guard our coming and our going, and grant us life and peace, now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו והכל עמו ישראל מהירושלים. We rise for Vishamru, page 34. Vishamru v'nei השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. די מני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, מעמד יברא קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בהתגלה בהתגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ועמי עמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח, יתברך שמה ויתנשא ויתהדה ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו amen. We take a few moments for our private Amidah this evening, beginning on page 35, using the words of our Siddur, taking a few moments of private meditation. Use shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru imeru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru. Amen. We continue standing on page 47 as we offer the Me'ain Shalosh, the paragraphs that stand in place of the repetition of the Amidah, page 47. Mayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivaham vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa mayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki vo shava mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora Elyon Konei shamayim v'aretz Magen avod bidvaro Mechayei metim b'ma'amaro Ha'el HaKadosh she'en kamohu המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמוע בכל יום תמיד, מעון הברכות. אלא הודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת, ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג. זכר למעשה וראשית אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו רצי במנוחתנו קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך סעבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך וינוחו וישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. We continue with Kaddish Shalem, page 48. Yitkadav yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'amad yivra kirutei, ve'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachol u'mechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'galav yizman kariv yimeru, amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach, ve'alam u'amei amaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, yipar v'chma v'yitnaseh, v'yitadav yitala v'yitala shemei dekudisha, b'richu, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה נמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן תגבל סוד הדבר הון לכל ישראל קודם אבוהון בשמיה וימרו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו Amen.
Ethan will lead us in the Kiddush over his glass of grape juice, which he's going to uncover and hold up. Page 51. Or page 50, I think.
49.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hihi lanu zikara v'reshit ki hu lamticha למקרא הקדש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה ורצון הנחלתנו Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. After Ethan has a chance to take a drink, he will lead us, along with Rabbi Bluston, with the Aleinu, page 51.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו את חיי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו עינות, אמת מלכנו אפס סולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשיבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו. רק כי נגלו חלק לתקן למלכות שלנו. הכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר יח אדוני למלך על הארץ ביום ההוא יחיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Job.
Beautifully done.
He hit it. You may be seated. As we prepare to offer the Mourner's Kaddish, we note the continuing Shloshim period, 30 days after passing. For Sidney Glassell, the brother to Madeline and Kenneth Gimbel. Sheila Herman, the mother to Kathy and Ronnie Miller. And we also note the yurtzites on this, the 9th of Kislev, to Irvin Braveman, the husband of Marilyn Braveman, and the father to Susan Braveman and Betsy Halpern. Morris Cohen, the father to Leon Goldstein and Harriet Miller, grandfather to Mark Cohen and Judy Cogan. Vida Diamond Schulman, the mother to Alan Schulman and Howard Schulman. Faye Ellen Slutsky, the sister to Lawrence Cooper. And Rita Besson, the mother to Diane Besson. And we continue to walk with those who come every morning and every evening to our daily service, daily morning and evening minyan, remembering Barry Levenstein, cousin to Lori and Mitzi and Jordan Foreman, Danny Lippett, son of Linda and Alan Lippett, Cheryl Tuttle, sister of Esther and Michael Levine, Andrew Wiesenberg, Jerry Wiesenberg, father to Andrew Wiesenberg, Ahuva Ben David, mother to Tova and Mark Cohen, Adrian Cohen, wife of Kelly Inney, Stanley Shiroki, cousin to Ivan Millender, Herbert Singer, husband to Joanne Singer, father to Mindy and Richard Bressler, Lisa and Eric Plasker, and Cheryl and Michael Weiss, Henry Burnbury, father to David Burnbury, Lynette Cohen, sister to Philip and Donna Newman, B. Blass, mother to Charlotte and Alan Kaminsky, Alan Betty Blass, sister to Donald Reisman, Stanley Bloomberg, father to Stacy and John Guerin. Steve Marcus, husband to Sandy Marcus, father to Larry and Brian Marcus, uncle to Batsheva Fullenhall. Carol Wexler, mother to Jill and Robert Rosner, Jeff Wexler and Ellen Pillsbury. Harris Pavlot, father to Arthur and Dara Pavlot. Pauline Cohen, mother to Stanley Cohen and Walter and Lisa Cohen. Dan Melnick, husband to Diane Melnick. John Sherman McDade, husband to Marcia McDade, brother-in-law to Jeannie and Bob Tepper. Rose Berman, sister to Donald Reisman. Bella Haya Batsare, close friend to Marilyn Winston. Shirley Bornstein, stepmother to Pepe and Alan Wolkin, Linda and Carrie Landis. Norman Arm, uncle to Sheila Edelman, Demetrius Coffey, close friend of Alan Wexler. Douglas Friedman, husband to Jeannie Friedman, brother to Robin Spiesman, nephew to Lois Blonder. Bailey Olam, sister to Goldie Weiss and to Ann Olam. If we've omitted any names, please accept my apology, but know that we walk with you. We hold you during this time as you remember your loved one. As we enable our microphones, join in with the call and response of the Mourner's Kaddish, rising in our room if you are saying Kaddish, on page 52 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shemir Rabah, Be'alma Divra Kirite, V'yamlik Malchute, V'chayachon, V'yomechon, V'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agala, U'vizman Kari, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam, U'mei U'maya. Yiparach, V'yishtabach, V'yipa'ar, V'yitrunam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Made Kudashah, Brichu, Le'ela, Minkol, Berchata, V'shirata, Tush Bechata, V'nechamata, Da'amiran Be'alma, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba, Amin Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Rama, Uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Well, again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Mazal Tov to the Feldman family. Ethan, so far you're crushing it. Keep it going, my friend. Tomorrow, I've heard a little bit of what you're going to do. It's going to be wonderful. Looking forward to celebrating with you and the rest of your family as we join together tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning. We hope the Feldman family come a few minutes early, get ready, get seated. Ethan will be starting us off pretty early, so we need him here. So that'll be 9:30 in the morning. 10:30 in the morning, we have Andy Zangwell leading our Torah study discussion. You're welcome to join him online for that experience, or we have space in our synagogue where you could participate online with a virtual platform. So feel free to come for the Feldman Bar Mitzvah, step out for a minute for the Torah study, come back in, and enjoy Ethan's sermon, which is a really wonderful, very connected family sermon. I've had the privilege of working with him on it. Looking forward to hearing him deliver it tomorrow. Tomorrow night, let's see if I get this right.
I think 5:15.
Is it 5 o'clock?
5:15.
Oh, 5:15. Tomorrow night. 5:15 for Mincha, Marev, and Havdalah. That'll be just virtual, so please join us there for that. Lots going on. Please check out the e-blast and the website for all the things going on. Concerts are happening, social justice projects, which are abundant in our congregation, along with all types of learning, lunch and learns, lattes and learns, Talmud study in the middle of the week, MAC meets on Tuesday. There's just anything and everything for you to find and enjoy and participate. So we look forward to having you join us then. Rabbi Blessing, anything else?
I just wanted to highlight, in this coming week, there will be 2 informational sessions. It'll be the same session, but 2 informational sessions about our congregational Israel trip that's happening mid to late July. So if anyone is interested in finding out more about that trip, please reach out to Jill, aka Mama, and we will get you all hooked up, and with the times, they're in our e-blast as well. And I think that's it.
Okay. We're going to conclude our service with Yigdal on page 53, but before we do, just want to offer this reflection. For the arrival of Shabbat. Well of life, bless our hearts with the gift of Shabbat, the presence of your love in our pulse, the glory in our chest, and your wonder in our breath. Bless our eyes with the gift of Shabbat, the beauty of candlesticks, the Kiddush cup, the chalot. Bless our lips with the gift of Shabbat, rejoicing in song and prayer, our melodies ancient and new. Bless our ears with the gift of Shabbat, hymns and praises of nigunim of old, the blessing of words of Torah. Bless our soul with the gift of Shabbat. awe and thanksgiving, calm and surrender, beauty, righteousness, and peace. Let these gifts descend gently upon all your people, Israel, so that together, wherever we may be, in one voice, from all four corners of the earth, we sing, Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Come in peace, messengers of peace, angels of the Most High. Page 53, Yigdal.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח נמצא ועיני מציאותו אחד ואין יחיד כי ייחודו נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף אינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם בכל נוצר יורה גדולתו ומלכותו שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את תמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמואל על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו צופה ויודע סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו גומר לאיש חסד כמפעלו נותן רשע רע כרישתו ישלח לקץ הימין משיחנו לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתו מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful service again.
Ethan.
And Reverend Lawrence, I love those insights you give us.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Sam.
Shabbat Shalom, Neil.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Gary, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Hi, Don.
Shabbat Shalom, Susan Brady.
God bless you, Miss Jill.
What's that?